Yeah. All right. I got to get my special hat on for tonight. All right, so you're just joining us. Type something in the chat. Also, like the podcast. If you're new to the podcast, subscribe. Les is not here tonight, but he's probably watching.
Or else he's flying.
Yep.
On the other.
He's, yeah, he could be flying. This is scenes from Indiana 135. I gotta get that. I got so much stuff I'm working on, man. So crazy.
Yeah. Well, Les, if you're listening, this is an honor for you. Can they hear us yet? Yes, I believe they can.
All right. Welcome to the podcast. A little different layout since Les is not going to be here tonight, so I've redone everything today. So it's a little bit different. I've been working on it all day, and I think this is going to be the layout for the next couple months, other than we'll have Les in there in the mix. But anyway, welcome to the podcast. Hopefully a lot of people are going to be watching tonight. Looks like we got 5 so far. So go ahead. We'll wait to
howdy, everybody. Look at those spiffy do name tags down at the bottom. I'm impressed. He didn't even have a high schooler to help him. I'm really impressed.
He's been busy today, Max.
Yeah, I actually worked out a little
Connie.
bit.
Hi, Max. Hey, Sparky.
Sparky, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, Sparky.
This is going to be a different podcast. I've done a lot of different changes today. I've worked a lot. It's probably about 5 hours working on this. So at the very end, give us a thumbs up or give us a thumbs up now and just hope it's going to be good.
He likes the yellow and black caution tape.
Yeah.
It's very fitting, isn't it, Sparky?
Yeah. So we got a couple slides we're going to go through first. A couple people we're going to talk about. So we're going to go there while people coming in. The first thing we're going to talk about is the Legends Never Die tour. That's Riding Fish and Bearded Bobber. I'm sure there's going to be lots of information coming out for that. That's next year in June, and that's going to be a Route 66 ride. And I believe it's going to start below Chicago, somewhere around there. That's where it's going to start, and then they're going to ride all the way to the southern half. What is it? California, right? What's that big city?
Route 66 ends in San Francisco,
San Diego?
I think it's
or San Francisco.
Yeah, San Diego.
Yeah. So that's going to be really cool. All right. And we're going to be on, hopefully Max will have his motorcycle by then, and we'll have him on there. We're going to at least spend a couple days there. Well, we're talking about June next year, bro. We're talking about almost a year. So
I told you, nothing can happen till after November. You're going to keep getting me in trouble, dude.
You and me, Max. Let's go get our bikes, buddy.
Oh, yeah. I think Connie finally, instead of 2 wheels, she looks like she's going to go on 4 wheels. So we'll see how it
wheels.
goes. Yeah, you can have, never mind. I don't want to go there. All right. So here's our friends that help us out. We got Ride Culture. We got Gator Mike Swamp Sauce. We got BC Customs. Hopefully, hey, how you doing, buddy? And who's that, Connie?
Body Snatcher, I think.
Wow. Say what?
But anyway, this is our friends, and let me see my actual camera. I want to see my film. Okay, there we go. So let me see if I can get this in here. I gotta minimize this for a second, and here we go. So our friends have helped us out, and I finally don't want to lift these things up like 1,000 times. But anyway,
bravo.
The book behind there is not, and the Kentucky coffee is not part of the giveaway. But I'm going to talk to them. I'm going to see if we can actually just start giving away once we reach 100. Like if we get to 700, we'll give something away. We do 800, we'll give something away. Or we can give it all away at one time. Who? She's
Yeah,
trying to
I
figure out
don't.
who
I
I
don't
am.
know about the I don't know about the liquor giveaway, Chris. We might get in trouble on that.
Yeah, we're not doing that. But
Yeah. So
you got the Charles Chapa,
Choppa,
Chapa,
Choppa.
Chapa, Chapa. Foot pegs, you got the riding pegs, the highway pegs, you got the floorboards, you got Gator Mike sauce. I guess I could have turned that one around a little bit. You got the spices, you got the pink wash, and you got the detailer, the green one. That's a detailer. We didn't get a label on that one, but this is all going to be given away once we reach 1,000 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed yet, I think it's time for you to subscribe. All right. Let me get rid of this thing here real quick. All right. And as we all know, we do have let me get this off here real quick. There we go. Folds of Honor. All right. So there's a little QRR right there that you can, I know, Connie, go ahead and say it right.
What?
You can scan that. And
I didn't say a word,
if
man.
you want to
I didn't
donate
say a word.
to the Folds of Honor, that ride is coming up this weekend. I will be, unfortunately, working. I think that's Ed, by the way. I would be.
It is.
I will be, unfortunately, working. But I know a lot of people are going to be at that ride. I think Les, Heather, most of the
Cincinnati.
2096,
IMRG,
2074. I think most of them people are going to be riding that ride. So that's going to be a good ride. So look in your area and see if the IMRG is having a ride. Most of them do. On September 23rd, I think that's the date. So
It's Saturday.
this,
It's
This coming
20th.
Saturday.
September 20th. September 20th. I'm glad you're listening. I'm glad you're listening.
Dang, I'm paying attention for
that-
once.
Yeah, it's better coming from her than from me. But go ahead.
All right, and then the other thing is once we hit 750 subscribers, and we're getting close to 700, so just keep on subscribing. Share this podcast with people that ride motorcycles. We talk about safety. We talk about some great topics like the one tonight about group riding and that kind of stuff. But send the podcast to your friends that ride motorcycles. Don't send it to your grandma. She's never going to watch it. We need people to actually watch the podcast, and it puts us in a higher level in the algorithm. So share it, like it, and we only got one like right now. That's very disappointing.
Sparky's gonna ride Saturday too.
All right, Sparky, where are you gonna be riding at? All
Are
right.
they having a ride for Folds of Honor where he's at?
It's all right, Sparky. I'm used to it. That's what he does. It's okay.
All right, and the last one is for Max. We're past our 2-minute mark, so he can actually say this one. So there we go.
All right.
That comment will disappear in a second. Rolling Throttle, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, Rolling Throttle, how's it going?
There it goes.
All right. At Throttle and Iron, we believe that bottles and throttles do not mix. We promote responsible drinking and do not condone drinking and riding. While we may enjoy a drink during the podcast, we do so safely at home with no riding taking place afterwards. Please enjoy responsibly.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Obey your local laws. Never drink and ride safe and ride free. Speaking of that brings us to tonight's selection, which they've been giving me crap for 3 weeks. So we're stepping away from Starlight, but we're still using a local distillery, New Riff, down in Newport, Kentucky. This is their single barrel. It is barrel proof without chill filtration at 112 proof, 57% volume of alcohol. This is good stuff. New Riff has definitely won its share of awards lately. So if you want to drink something locally, can't go wrong with New Riff. Anything from New Riff. There you go, folks. New Riff.
in our backyard.
All right.
Yeah.
So first thing we're going to talk about is the Jack Daniels. I'm going to go through. So it looks like we still got some openings in Jack Daniels. I went to the website today and it still says register. So hold on a second. In Chris's defense, what's this? And to the podcast, I'm watching on my TV. Hey, that's what I want. I want you to be on the TV, and you got to use your phone for comments. Kind of crazy, but yeah. All right. So let's get back to this. Jack Daniels looks like it's still got some spots, and because it still says register, so I'm sure you get 8 spots.
8 spots.
Yeah, we got to get them things filled up.
Wow.
Man. Get Throttle.
It was 6 last week. Huh. Somebody canceled.
Yeah, get Rolling Throttle there. Be quiet. Get out of this room.
We shortened his.
Where's Les when I need him? Where's Les? I
told you this is going to be a great show. Just me and you, brother. Me, you, and Connie.
Yeah. So,
You're in for a long night.
Yeah. So get out there and join, folks. Get out there and join this freaking podcast. I don't even know what I'm talking about now. I'm done.
You're done.
Yeah.
That's all right. Folks, like, share, subscribe, get on the podcast, join us. We're having a whole lot of fun here.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about some fun stuff coming up and some serious stuff that has gone down in the past.
Yeah.
So,
exactly.
Chris, you're talking about Jack Daniels. What about these routes you got up here showing?
Yeah. So Ed, that's actually in the comments right here. Body Snatcher. He is the one that actually rode most of these rides, and he's the one that's actually set up Ride Command. And you can go to Ride Command. I think it's Ride Command. Let me see what the actual website is, so I can give you the right information here. So it's ridecommand.indianmotorcycles.com. Okay, and then you'll come to this website here, and what you want to do is make sure I got this hooked up to the mouse here, and you're gonna go to communities, and then you're gonna go to rides. And then you're going to click on Jack Daniels. Okay. And then I think this is the one I think it's the 8 because I don't know if them lines on the 10 is correct. So I'm going to click on this one. And maybe it is. I don't know. But it looked like it was runways and stuff like that because they're pretty straight. But anyway, here's the actual routes and the different ones. They're all named. And you got 4113 South Access Road, Tennessee Highway. So this is all the points that all the turns that will be going around. You can actually download these, put them into your Ride Command. As you can see, these are really, really nice routes. And you can actually look at a 3D level of the ride, which I thought was pretty cool. But I was wondering if the ride actually goes, if he's riding this fast, or because watch how fast this is. I think look how, holy cow, he's got the fastest Indian motorcycle in the world. Look how fast he's going.
What the heck?
He said that Ride Command photo is just weird.
Yeah, he's like racing. But anyway, he's all the way around the world right now. He's like Santa Claus on
that
Christmas
guy must
night.
be on a 131 Thunderstroke.
Dream on.
Rolling Throttle. One of his questions was, can we share it with people that trailer motorcycles? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And also, if they put them in a mobile home with a toy carrier, that's who we want right there. Everybody. All right. So
everybody say hi to Gator Mike. He's here.
Gator Mike, welcome to the
Gator
podcast.
Mike.
All right.
Rolling Throttle Life said he's actually on a Harley.
Well, it's you riding a Harley. You can actually come to the event. You don't have to have an Indian. So come on, let's have some fun. All right. So this is the Jack Daniels. I wanted to, they asked me to show this, how to get the routes and that kind of stuff. One of them's 240 miles. The other one's 197. Takes 5 hours and 27 minutes, 8 hours. And you can actually, you don't have to do this at Jack Daniels. You can do this anytime you want to. Just download this map into your Ride Command and it'll just follow it. And
You got your
good to go.
Ride Command Pro on here.
Yes, he is. He is the pro. He knows everything about the Ride Command.
Yes, he is.
He said, slow that down in the bottom left corner if you want to.
Yeah. It's a great, they're improving it. It keeps getting better. So, it's better than what it used to be. All right. So here we go. Join us on October 9th and 11th. It looks like we're going to be doing a podcast at the Chattanooga Indian. I can't remember exactly. I know it's called Power Sports. I can't remember what the name of it is, but I know I'm getting in trouble now.
Yeah, you are.
Yes, you are.
Yep.
Chattanooga. Matter of fact, when Ed sent me the message that said, "Hey, can you share this stuff?" He went Chattanooga. Thinks he's being funny.
I try to slow him down in the left-hand corner too. It doesn't work.
Yeah, you're crazy. I rode a Harley this morning. It wasn't that fast. Then it rained.
Oh, Crockett.
Crockett Power Sports. That's what it is. Thank you.
Yeah, Crockett.
Thank you, Ed.
Thank you, Ed.
And I'll tell you what, that is a cool profile picture right there. I like that. But all right, so we're doing Back of the Dragon and Trail of the Dragon this weekend. Oh, I wish I was off. I mean, I was off the last 2 weekends, and now I have to work this weekend, which sucks. But then I'll be off the next 2 weekends for the Jack Daniels event. So make sure you guys are liking, and we got 15 people on here, so we only got 3 likes. Come on, guys, let's get this thing, start hitting the like button. But anyway, if you go to the Jack Daniels website, just search for Indian Motorcycle Rider Series, Jack Daniels Ride in Google. It'll go straight to this page. There's a couple spots left. So he said 8, register. And then we also have a dinner that a lot of people, I think only 20 people signed up so far.
For the dinner?
For the dinner, yeah.
No.
Wow.
You
Yeah.
gotta do better than that.
Well, I think everybody's waiting for the last minute, but I think there is a cutoff around the 20th.
Of this month?
Yeah, so we're going to have to get ours in because we haven't got ours in yet.
Of this month, yeah.
Yeah,
we'll
so
be
there's
there.
4 coming there, so there'll be 24.
Okay.
And they're
Well,
going to have
people,
lots
come
of
on,
good. Yeah, good.
They got to sign up for this dinner because they won't know how much food to get if
Yeah, I
if
know.
Right.
people don't sign up.
Yeah.
You can't wait till the last minute on that one.
Yeah, exactly. And then I wish, I mean, the problem is, it wasn't at the beginning, and I know it wasn't their fault. This is something that actually event, but the details wasn't actually finalized yet, and that was the reason why it didn't come out the first time. And it's a separate payment, so it's not going to be included when you actually get your tickets. So it's kind of an afterthought. So people need to know because they need to know how much food they're going to have to get and that kind of stuff. So, all right, so this weekend was King of the Baggers, and guess what? Harley finalized the season, and Kyle actually won. And I got a little gnat flying around here. I hate being in the basement by the garage. But
It's flying around.
I love being in the
Shut the
basement
hell
by
up.
the garage.
But Kyle Wyman won this year, King of the Baggers. They got one more race, but his points, I mean, as you can see, the points are there's no way nobody's going to catch him. And then Louis Bass is in second place, which he's pretty much got that. So he's probably going to win. So you got Indian. So you got 3 Indians and 1 Harley-Davidson. So you got 1 cheating, 1 winning. 1
Oh, wow. Jeez.
Behave yourself.
But-
I'm just kidding.
But everybody needs to look over to the race numbers on 9/12. Notice that Kyle Wyman didn't even race at
On that
all.
last one, I don't think.
He's,
Yeah.
it's so locked up.
Yeah.
He doesn't even need to race anymore. I mean, he just forfeited all of them and still win. Crazy.
Well, Baz got second place on Saturday and Sunday, which is pretty cool.
Yes.
Her Falls
That's cool.
got first place on Sunday, and O'Hara looks like he placed somewhere in at the very end. Looks like he got 8 and 9 or 8 and 6, so maybe it was pretty close. Maybe he got 4th and 5th, but Troy got first place. So I mean and then you got I think it's 69 is actually a Harley guy, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So
It's Halen Gillum.
yeah, I think he's Harley.
Number 5. Yeah. Harley.
So he got first place on Saturday, so that's pretty cool. If you ain't first, you're last. Well, you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome behind the bars. How you guys doing? Yeah.
Yeah.
Rolling throttle life. Kyle is going Days of Thunder and just sit in the pits while eating ice cream.
Oh, Lord.
Oh my gosh.
I do want to mention that
Mhm.
let me see. Ed Body Snatcher said Chattanooga IMRG Folds of Honor is partnering with the Trail of Tears ride this Saturday.
Okay.
So that's very
Okay.
cool.
Gotcha.
Very cool.
All right, cool. All right, so that's the update in King of the Baggers. Let's go to what our topics are tonight. Now, this is kind of dear to my heart because I've only been riding for 3 years, maybe a little plus now. And group riding is one of the things I like the best. And, you got to be in a group to really be in a, you guys have a group of friends. Okay. You have a group of friends. Like Les has a group ride every year that he goes to Alabama. He goes to certain places. He's got 4 or 5 friends. They've been doing that for years, but it's not like it's a group, like, meetings every month, that kind of stuff. So we're going to go through that. So what do you guys want to go to first? You guys want to go to the bad part of groups, or do you want to go to the good part of groups? I'll let you guys vote. Say
With
bad
all
or
10 people
good.
on here.
Yeah, let's get some people in the chat. Let's see some stuff here.
Yeah.
Good or bad? Which route do you guys want us to go?
That's me. Sparky said something funny.
What do you say?
Yeah.
Oh, I see you behind the bars on a daily basis.
Yeah. And to tell the truth, he does.
Oh, yeah,
So.
he does. He's too funny.
Yeah. Welcome to the podcast. 859. They got it. If you guys go to YouTube and go behind the bars 859, you'll find their YouTube channel. Same thing with Rolling Throttle. They have a YouTube channel there, and they're huge. They got rides throughout the year next year, and it's called Mobbing in the Mountains, I think, and it's pretty cool. So check them out. I'm hoping to make one of their run their rides next year, but we're planning on a lot of things. I got calendar 3.0 right now, so. It was 2.0, and I raced it all just a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Your camera went out for a second there. All right. So we're going to go with, since nobody wants to help us
Rolling
out.
Throttle Life said, let's hear the complaints.
Let's hear the complaints?
That's
okay.
what he said.
All right. Let's go that way. So we're going to go. So like I said, this is a little bit different than normal. I mean, I actually we're not going to do no PowerPoint. We're not going to be reading this stuff. So you can read it, but we're not going to. So.
Gator Mike has a point, though.
What's that? Bad
and good. It's what you make it.
Exactly. Yeah. Gator Mike, you're right. All right. So what tears a group apart? We'll go that route. Okay. So one of the things that I notice when I go to different, groups and that kind of stuff, which is good about IMRG. I don't really see this ego and power struggles, but it does happen. It does happen time to time, especially when people are wanting to do something different than what the other part of the group wants to do. And then you get some power struggles, right? I mean, what do you feel there, Max? The reason why I did this tonight, because I know Max has got a lot of information. He's going to be doing a lot of more talking. I'm going to be sitting back watching. So go ahead, Max.
Okay. So here we go. Let me give you a little background on me, folks. I'm a longtime member of the American Federation of Riders, one of the original groups who started poker runs back in the late 70s, early 80s, when the only rides in town in the tri-state area was the AFR Spring Run, Harley had a run in the middle, and AFR Fall Run. And it used to be these runs were mentioned in Easy Rider magazine as events. And people came from all 3 states. Hell, I remember seeing Michigan plates and all kinds of things. But as that group aged, and don't get me wrong, I worked for some really, really good people in that organization. Tom Tencati, Skip Fredericks, and my good old riding buddy Wesley Holt come to mind. All 3 of them were chairmen for periods of time. But what finally happened with the AFR is that we got older and younger people did not want to join or ride with us. It finally came down, when it came down to the end, it was 6 of us trying to put on 2 runs a year. And that's almost impossible. So the other group I belonged to was the KMRO, the Kentucky Motorcycles Riders Organization, which was a spinoff of the KBA KMA down here in Kentucky. That group had a large following, and it survived a long time. It even survived me being chairman for 2 years. But what brings us back to the point of where the first X is, social media has been a downfall of a lot of groups because clicks form, egos get in the way, people start talking about each other, this, that, and the other. And let's be real. You get a group of 2 or more people together, somebody's going to start talking about somebody sometime. But how they handle it is how the group either survives or it destroys itself. The KMRO ended up destroying itself, which is a damn shame because that organization did a lot of good and provided a lot of solid background for a lot of riders to come together in this area. So, like I said, I've been involved in 2 major organizations, and it gives me a little room to speak on these issues that Chris brought up. He did a good job on this.
Yeah. So one of the questions I get, so I go to different places and I kind of introduce myself, and then somebody realizes, oh yeah, you're doing a podcast, you're doing this, you're doing that, on YouTube, you're on Facebook, you got your own page, you got websites, you're selling merchandise and that kind of stuff. Sometimes people feel that I'm at an event just to get some film, take pictures of this and that, and I'm not really invested in the group, or I'm not doing that kind of stuff. And that's some of the stuff I get sometimes, where if I'm at an event, I'm there for one reason, that's the ride, and I'm always second. I don't hardly ever bring in my camera out. I don't ever bring my drone out unless I ask people for permission, that kind of stuff. And sometimes people feel uncomfortable, when I go to some of these group events, because I don't do that. So it's kind of weird, because it's kind of double-edged sword, because they feel like, oh, you're not really promoting our stuff, you must not really like us. And then the other thing is, people think, oh, you know what, you're just here to take pictures. And so I kind of find myself in a predicament sometimes when I go to some of these group rides, if the people know me. And they know I'm doing a podcast and I'm going to put a video up and that kind of stuff. And that causes anxiety in some people in the group also, I think, sometimes. I mean, I know that's how I feel sometimes.
Yeah, it is a double-edged sword. And like you said, you've got to do your best to combat that, because, again, you don't do anything without permission, because there is a certain segment of the motorcycling public out there that will not let you film them no matter what, because I've run into that also. Yeah. So if somebody tells you they don't want to be filmed, guess what? Don't film them, period. Yeah. In fact, you're probably better off just putting your camera away, packing it up, and enjoying the social situation. But it works both ways. There are people that want you there to promote their event. There are people who go, oh, he's just here to get sound bites or film or video. So, like I said, you do what you have to do to get yourself covered. Yeah. Okay.
And that's one of the things I do is I for IMRG, I'm mostly in them groups, but I go to a couple bike nights and there's other groups there.
Well, people usually ask you to the bike nights. Yeah. They ask you to come. Yeah. Take some pictures and come hang out with them and stuff. They do that. What people don't realize,
and that's different.
Yeah. And that's people don't realize that Chris works almost every weekend, just about. I mean, if he gets 2 weekends off in a row, it's like a miracle. So he's there to ride. Trust me, he wants to ride. But usually people are asking you to come to their event.
So yeah, we're Billy. I know you got a couple of questions about cardo and stuff like that. We'll talk about them when we got a couple slides in here about riding and group riding, that kind of stuff. We'll get to that, and we'll talk about the communication, because we are going to talk about communication, and I think that's very important, especially in group riding and kind of stuff like that. So, and the other thing is, you got some people that, and I don't think this happens, Max, when you have 6 people in a group. I don't think this happens when you have 12 people in a group. I think this happens when you start getting 30 people in a group, where your egos start getting, and people get power struggles and that kind of stuff. I think that happens and that's what I think, we'll talk about that at the very end. I think that's what stalls some groups, because they don't know how to deal with that when you have being a shithead or whatever it is. But we'll talk about that and wanted to pass, but I think that's what happens. Go ahead.
I've seen it happen both ways.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it happen with a group of 6 people. I've seen it happen with a group of 50 plus people.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is how the group and the leadership deals with it. The jealousy thing that we've got highlighted right now, yes. They're speaking from my own personal experience, when I did get elected chairman of the KMRO, there were some hurt feelings and a little bit of schism there. I tried to do what I could to unite everybody, and for the most part, most people responded positively to it. But people are people, and people have their own opinions about everything. If and I'll be perfectly honest, I'm not everybody's cup of tea. Let's just be honest about it. But and that's fine. Yeah, have something to drink, Chris.
That wasn't me. That was Connie.
Clear my throat.
No.
Yeah. But you know what, Max, and here's what the thing is. I know you're very action oriented. Okay, so you actually do stuff. There's some people that want a title but don't really want to do anything. And there's a lot of people in groups like that where you have titles but they really don't do anything, so.
See, and those are the people that need to get out of the way for the people who want to do something.
Yeah.
Because nothing will kill an organization faster than a bunch of people who do nothing. It's always, you've got a group of 20, for example, you've got a group of 20 people, 30 people, but it's the same 6, 7, 8 people that show up at the meetings, that help put on the rides, that do all the grunt work. That's not right. But yet they want to sit around and, I'm a member and we did a really good job and all this stuff, and they didn't do anything. So. Yeah.
And I think you have to actually be open to people helping you too, because some people are always wanting to help, but maybe that person doesn't look the part, but he has something to contribute. He can help you. I know like, well, I'm not going to say names, but anyway, I know there's somebody I know that has done a lot lately. And at first when we met them, it was like, I didn't think that was going to happen. I didn't think that was going to happen like that. But I mean, there's lots of people out there that contribute to groups that are kind of shy, backwards, don't say much. But then when it comes to that day, they're the first person that gets up there, does the blocking, does that goes to the next row, does the blocking, that kind of stuff. I mean, there's different people and different faces in each group, so.
Yeah,
and the thing is about, go ahead, Connie, I'm sorry.
No, you got people who sometimes keep asking others if they need help, and they say, no, they're going to stop, volunteering to help. You know what I mean? If nobody ever lets them assist or help, then they're just not going to offer anymore. Hi, Kevin.
Yeah, and one of the things, if you have because this happens at work all the time, not just in groups. I mean, this actually happens in real life. It's almost like a job. It's almost like a business. A group is kind of a business. When you actually representing like a RMRG or because one of the reasons why I'm doing this podcast, because next week we actually have a leader of one of the groups, the Saddleman Group, coming on next week as a guest, and all the charity stuff that they do and that kind of stuff. And he's going to talk about all the stuff that he does in the community. And I think that's wonderful. But there's some, a lot of groups, a lot of motorcycle clubs have a bad rep of not just, 1%ers and that kind of stuff. But IMRG is kind of different, but all of them are they all have certain things that are the same. They're not the whole, the nucleus is the same. You have, titles, you have people that, do routes, you have, that kind of stuff. Just like at work, you have, the leader, everybody's, this is my plan for the day, that kind of stuff. I mean, it all works out. But
you have an organizational structure, and you should have that. Every group needs that. You need a chairman. You need a vice chairman. You need a sergeant of arms. You need some organizational structure. You've got to have that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the least thing that you've got to have. Yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, you're good. You're exactly right. Hey, welcome to the podcast, Our Indian Adventures. Let me get some of these comments here.
Well, Ed made a really good.
Yeah, where's Ed at here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, where's he at?
He said, but sometimes a title is given to someone just because no one else wants to do it.
I would keep it vacant.
And that's true. Well, but that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody has to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And if nobody volunteers to do it, then it probably is going to go to the person who says, okay, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's not necessarily a bad thing, because I've seen that happen, and it turned out to be the best thing the organization ever did. The one thing I wanted to get in real quick before that,
Yeah, go ahead.
Being an old graybeard myself, sometimes you tend to get a little hidebound because this is the way we've always done it.
Mm-hmm.
And they tend not to hear ideas coming from new or younger people. And the leadership has to make sure that they don't fall into that trap. Just because this was the way it was always done doesn't mean there's not a way to improve.
Yeah.
So you listen. You might want to give it a shot. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And then you can tell the person, hey, your idea didn't work, and here's why. We tried it.
Yeah, speaking of that, and that's one of the things I always say is a leader must listen.
There's always room for improvement.
Yes.
Trust me.
Believe me. And and you got to be open to that. If you're a dictator or feel like that, I mean, people actually, they can feel it within about a month or two that, listen, everything I kind of present never gets listened to. And the next thing you know, they don't show up to the meetings anymore.
No.
And that's another one of the things that fell in a group is that, hey, listen, you got to be open to things, and you got to vote for things. You got to do your business. That's what meetings are for. So
don't be bitching if you don't come to the meetings or whatever. Don't be bitching if you.
And that's what we're talking about, drama and gossip. And that's where Facebook and text messages come through and that kind of stuff is that, let's say you have a meeting and you're talking about business and this is what we're going to do in the next couple of weeks. And somebody else, hey, listen, we want to do this ride also. Is it possible to make this happen? And that person says, we already got this done. We've been working on this for 6 months and we can't just add another ride, that kind of stuff. And the next thing you know, when they're done with the meeting, they're going and texting their buddies, hey man, check this ride out. This is a really good ride. We should do this. I'm thinking about just doing this. And do you want to come with me? We'll do it. And then that day that we're doing rides, there's a split in the group. And where these are doing this ride, and they're not. Why didn't these guys show up? Oh, because they're doing their own ride now, and that kind of puts a rip in the whole club, and that's where that guy gets a bad name in the group, and that's something there. If you're a leader, what would you do there, Max?
Sometimes it is a good idea to split forces.
Mm-hmm.
If you have two charity rides that not your own ride, but two other charity rides that are going on the same day. Sometimes you split your forces and go, okay, XYZ, you go here, ABC, you go there. And that way we have an appearance at both of them and we're contributing to both of them. Okay. That's not necessarily a split is not necessarily a bad thing if it's agreeable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For somebody just to willy-nilly go off on their own and go, hey, I'm going to go do this up yours.
Mm-hmm.
That's bad.
Yeah,
okay,
that's really bad.
That's when somebody needs to put a check on that guy and go, hey, our organization is doing this on this day.
Mm-hmm.
I understand your feeling, but we are doing this that day.
Mm-hmm.
Don't take yourself out of the we.
Yeah,
that's important.
But
drama and gossip, I've seen it in more organizations, more relationships. A lot of things. You got to do what you can to squash that stuff. Nip it in the bud. Nip it.
Yeah.
Nip it good.
Yeah, I totally agree. What were you going to say, Connie?
Look at some of your comments.
Look at some of my comments.
Yeah, we are looking at comments.
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
Hierarchy needs to be established to be enforced correctly. Yep.
That's basically what I said. Yeah. Thank you, Gator.
Yeah, good point. There is a difference between clubs, chapters, and MCs. Exactly right. We're talking more groups and maybe clubs, not really chapters. Well, chapters, IMRG, there is chapters. Some IMRG chapters actually have dues, and some of them don't. Some of them have dealer representation, and some of them don't. And I think one of the things that really hampers some IMRG chapters is not having a good dealership.
Right.
Yeah. So that's.
Well, our Indian Adventures kind of made a comment to that.
Yeah. What's that?
They said a downside to dealers that offer discounts to IMRG members is that they join for the discount but never participate.
Yeah.
So that's
true.
A good point. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very true. But the thing is, though, here's the thing: a dealership can help you establish, or it can destroy you. Because there are some dealerships out there that don't want anything to do with an IMRG.
Mm-hmm.
Our dealership was one of them. We didn't have an IMRG for the longest time. It's only when the management changed that we got one established.
Yeah. I mean,
and there's good reasons for both. There's good reasons for both. Because people when you have a group and associated with dealership, some of the people in that group might feel entitled to demand certain things of the dealership. And the dealership's under no obligation whatsoever to provide you with those perks. Okay, they'll give you perks, but you don't want to bite the hand that feeds you, and some people do.
Yeah.
And like I said, that's one way it works. And then the other way it works is the dealership doesn't want anything to do with you because they've had a bad experience in other places.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly right. Mike, we just had a 4-chapter ride. So we had Cincinnati, some people from Cleveland, Columbus, and Northern Kentucky. Okay, so 4-chapter ride. And we took a ride through down to, what is it, Cynthiana, Kentucky?
Cynthiana, yeah.
And it was a great time. Everybody got along. Nobody had power struggles. I mean, when you have 4 presidents in one room, and also the regional, I guess that might have been, there's no reason there was any jealousy or anything like that, because you had the regional there from IMRG. But when you got that, because Cincinnati and North Kentucky are really close to each other now, and there's 2, one across the river and one, in Kentucky, and you can have a lot of animosity between each other because you're almost fighting for the same member, you know. And I'm kind of split in the
customer,
yeah. So I'm kind of customer, yeah. So I'm split in the middle because I'm closer actually to Cincinnati, and then I am a little bit farther for Florence. But I'm actually going to both of them, and trying to. And I'm actually kind of a member from, I'm not really. I don't say this officially, but Columbus, Cincinnati, and Northern Kentucky. I mean, I'm kind of like friends with a lot of people in I would say almost
all 4
Cleveland.
Of those.
Yeah, all 4 of them.
4 of those.
Yeah, I would love to go to Cleveland's meeting to see what it's like if I wasn't 6 hours away. But yeah, I mean, that's what's good about IMRG and I think Hogs. I mean, they all have their own chapters. Indian is more universal with different bikes, but I think a Harley-Davidson Hogs, I think you got to have a Harley-Davidson to be in that group. But they're kind of similar, so.
They're similar, but they're not the same because Hog is very structured, extremely structured.
Gotcha. All right, so ding, ding, ding. Our IMRG still doesn't have a dealership right now. A local shop allowed us to use their space temporarily until we get an Indian dealership. Yeah. Aww. Yeah, it's a shame.
That's kind of sad there, Sparky.
Yeah, it's damn shame.
Yeah. But the good thing is you got members. And you get an IMRG group, so that's all that matters. Because I was going to reach out to Indiana Motorcycles, one of the groups, and because there's like thousands of people, and I wanted to see how many people actually have an Indian, and see if any of them wanted to come to one of the meetings and that kind of stuff. Because I've been thinking about it the last couple of weeks. Because where I live, I mean, I want to know who's riding an Indian, and he want to go down to Madison next week and that kind of stuff. I'm kind of open to that if I'm off.
Well, you don't get a whole lot of weekends off, so when you have a Saturday off, you want to get some people together to take a ride.
Yeah, exactly. Because we actually are starting our own rides, Throttle and Iron. Next year we're going to be doing a lot more. and we're inviting people to come out and do rides. We just did one a couple of weeks ago when we went to Nashville, Indiana.
Story.
Yeah, Story. And that was a really good ride. I mean, it was great. A lot of people were discouraged at because of the weather at the beginning.
Yeah, the rain was. Yeah. But you found a way around it.
Yeah, we did. we actually had a great time.
You did a good job.
So, what else tears groups apart is the group that is the leader. They don't plan rides right, and they are really racing to get to a location. Because I think one thing that draws me to a group is a ride that's nice and windy, but not going too fast. Able to see the leaves. Because when we went to Story, Indiana, when we were going around the curbs, the leaves were falling out of trees and they were falling in on the ground. It was like almost like snow. It was like weird.
It was cool though.
Yeah, it was cool.
It was really cool.
but some people they want to get there. It's kind of like, I'm in charge of a group, but I really only want to go from point A to point B and then come back to B to C, and I want to do it in 2 hours, right? When really enjoyment is probably around 4 hours. So you got an hour and a half to get there and an hour and a half get back or plus, but you don't want to go 5 or 6 hours because then it gets a little bit.
Four's about right, like you said, because there's an hour in between there where you have to go eat somewhere, or
you
have to go to,
and then you got to
get ice cream.
Yeah, destination. So I think a destination because you want to get.
Gotta have that damn ice cream.
You do. I love it. Damn it.
Okay. So
yeah, good.
Here, let me interject here because again, you're talking about a double-edged sword here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have been on rides where it was unsafe. They did unsafe blocking practices. Their speed was too fast, and I never rode with those groups ever again. All it takes is once.
Yeah.
Okay. When I was road captaining for the AFR and the KMRO, my personal theory is you ride to your lowest common denominator. You take into effect that you're probably going to have people ride that aren't that experienced, like Chris. Mm-hmm. So you you go ahead and you try and adjust to get that happy medium. Mm-hmm. And during the ride, you check with your people. You go back. You go, is this too fast? Is this too slow? Are you comfortable with the rate we're going? Is the crowd staying together? Is the pack staying together? Is there anything I can do to help you guys in the middle of the pack? Or something like that. So, yes, you try and adjust, and you try and adjust your time frame. Now, I'm going to take the devil's advocate here, because I have been a road captain on hundreds of rides. And if you're set on a timetable, then you have to be at point A and point B by a certain time. You have practiced enough so you know what your speed you need to maintain to get there. Mm-hmm. Okay, for some people, it's too fast. Okay, I can guarantee you, if it's a timed ride where you have to be somewhere, it's going to be too fast for somebody, probably that lowest common denominator. Okay, and you've got an obligation to get the pack to where it's supposed to be on time, but you also have an obligation to make sure people are safe. So again,
would you think that would be like more charity rides, like what do they call them? The pony rides, or what do they call them? Where they
poker rides,
poker rides, where they have to be a certain location at a certain time.
Yeah, poker runs. Yeah. Yes, or scrambles. Scrambles aren't necessarily time ride, but you have to hit a certain spot and be back at the finish at a certain time. So you can't lollygag all day. But I'm not a big fan of splitting up the pack. But if somebody comes to me and goes, hey, we're not really comfortable riding that fast, I would venture to say, yes, okay, here's the route. This is where we're going to be. Go ahead and ride your ride, and we'll see you at the end when you get there. Yeah. Okay. Because on that kind of a ride.
Yeah. I think another thing that I think more riders need to get, especially when you get like 20 or more riders, you got to have some kind of communication because it's hard to see that end of that line and notice, oh, there's 4 riders or behind, or 5 riders, because you see a long line, you assume that everybody's still in line. And I think you have to have some kind of communication that's in line, and that's where Cardo comes in, Cena comes in, that kind of stuff. You got to have at least a couple people that can connect each other. It don't have to be the lead rider. I mean, if they don't want to wear a helmet, but somebody in that group of 4 at the front has to have some kind of communication with the group at the end. I mean, do you agree or no?
I agree, because nowadays communication devices are a whole lot simpler and they mesh together. Cardo talks to Cena talks to the off-brand to get off Amazon. There are ways to get around the internal differences of all these communication devices. But I will go back, because like I said, I've been doing this for 40 plus years. In those early days, nobody rode with a helmet, and nobody even knew what a Cardo or Cena was. What the hell is that? What are you talking about? So, yes, everybody passed their hand signals back. You try and keep as far as you can up with everybody again, and that puts more responsibility on your tail gunner, because if something happens in the back, he's supposed to know the route from the dry run. So if something happens, they can take care of it and get people back to either the ending spot or the next spot where you're supposed to meet. Okay. That's why a tail gunner is vitally important. He's supposed to know the route.
Yeah. So if you're talking about like hand signals and stuff like that, a lot of new riders don't know what these are, and it's very vital that you do know. So, I mean, you got left turns, right turns. One of the major things, road hazard. I mean, I point all the time, or I put my foot down. You need to let people know there's a road hazard coming by. Feel comfortable doing it. Don't get target fixation when you see a road hazard, though.
Fixated, yes.
Yeah, fixated, because that could cause an accident, so you don't want that to happen. Slow down, follow me. Especially the one, where double file or single file. That's very important, especially when you're going down a road that might have a slide on the one side of it. You really need to know them so you can actually communicate to riders that are behind you to know what's going on. Hey, Tracy, welcome to the podcast. You good?
When I used to write for Easy Rider, we published this in the spring issue every year. Not Easy Rider, Road Wheeler, the local magazine. I'm sorry, I never wrote for Easy Rider. Don't get upset, people. Although I did get threatened to have an article published in Easy Rider once. But yes, I wrote for a local magazine, Road Wheeler, and again, they publish this hand signal guide every spring issue without fail. It's something that you need to familiarize yourself with, and for goodness sake, you need to pass it back. If somebody throws a hand signal, you need to pass it back. It irritates me to no end to see riders. Well, some person it'll go like the first 3, 4, 5 bikes, and then nobody passes it back from there. Yeah. It's every rider's responsibility to watch out for the people behind him.
And that's when you go.
Always.
That's one of the things that you need to talk about when you're getting ready to take off too. Does everybody know the hand signals?
Yeah, and your rider safety meeting.
Yep.
Well, they've got mid sweeps in here. R&D Adventure says we use mid sweeps when the group is larger than normal. Do I know what that is?
And yes, I've seen that happen. I've used those happen.
Okay.
Back in the AFR because I'm telling you, these rides we used to have, I had a wave of 200 bikes behind me. I mean, it was crazy. So yes, there were members who were in the middle of the pack who were just as important as a tail gunner, because they had to know the route. If the pack got separated, that they could lead it back to a gathering place.
Okay.
So yeah, so large groups, mid sweeps are mid sweeps are very important.
Gotcha. All right. Well, we got let's go a little bit. We got one more here.
Yeah, let's go.
Favoritism, and like you already talked about this. We talked about this in the first slide.
Yes, we have.
One of the things, let's see, let me go through some of these comments here. You'll see mid sweeps at Jack Daniels.
Cool. Okay.
Yes.
Behind the bars.
Those are large rides.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Behind the Bars had another question at the top. Did you see that?
Yeah, about the how long is
How
a good
miles?
miles. I would say
Is a good
150, 150, 300 is a good one. What do you think, Max? What's your idea of a good ride?
A good poker run is 100 miles.
Okay.
Because you've got stops. You've got 4 to 5 stops and everywhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
So you're really not going far before you get to another stop. If you're just out for a ride with a bunch of your buddies,
mm-hmm.
then yeah, what you're saying is great. But a poker run, usually 100, 120 miles tops, because you've got a group of people and you're timed and you're all supposed to get back to the ending point by such and such a time.
Mm-hmm.
So, especially if you're split up into waves. So you've got your first wave going out, you wait a half an hour, your second wave's going out, third half an hour, third wave's going out.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to maintain that time space and to get back at the ending point by the time they're expecting you back. So,
yeah. So, I mean, I guess some of the people here says, I have a reputation of riding fast. Yeah, I know you ride fast because I rode with you before. And, and that's where you got to figure out if you want to have rides. And I'm not trying to say anything bad because I like the 85-9 guys. All right. And I'm just saying to anybody that put her out a ride, if I have to, if I look in my rearview mirror and they're not really close, I mean, I'm going too fast. Okay.
Yeah.
And if I'm only riding with 6 people and I see him behind there, and also you got to know if who's the weakest rider, and you got to pretty much ride just a little bit faster than them, because I know here's the thing is a lot of people are like, I want to ride to this place. And because it's got great curves, and a lot of people that's one of the main things about motorcycles that people love is they're able to go sweep through curves, ride a little faster than normal and have some fun. And there's a person in that group that's not capable to do that. That kind of diminishes the ride also. So you gotta figure out, when you post a ride,
happy medium there.
Yeah, you got to find out. You got to let people know, hey, listen, this is going to be you're going to have more experience on this ride. This is not for the person that's to partake that just started riding. So and you got to understand not to go ahead. What are you gonna say?
So here's the thing, and sometimes you just have to be perfectly honest and blunt about it.
Yeah.
There are some routes that I've taken, that I've ridden, that I would rate on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being an expert, and 3 being a medium. And I would ask people in the beginning, how many new riders do we have? Are you comfortable doing this? Because here's the thing, this ride is a 4. It is between a medium and an expert ride. If you're not comfortable doing this, then maybe you need to wait and take another route to end up where we're all going to meet.
So Billy has a question. He says, is it measured in miles or hours? It could be both, because you have a attention span that you want your riders to have, and that's either 2 hours or 3. You don't want to go more than that. You also got to look at and say, hey, listen, a lot of people are busy these days. So they also have to cut the grass. They have to see, talk to their go to dinner with their boyfriend or girlfriend or husband or whatever it is, birthday parties, all that kind of stuff. When you set up a ride on a Saturday, you want to make sure they can actually have their time also. So it's good to have meetings and say, listen, we're going to have a ride on July 13th. Anybody have anything planned already? I'd like to have the best turnout we can. Okay. Oh, you have a birthday party. What time do you need to be back? At 6. Then we'll decide where we're going to ride to. Okay. I got this ride that we can ride from here to here. It's going to be 150 miles. We're going to leave at 10 o'clock. We'll be back around 3. That gives you about 2 hours to go to your event, that kind of stuff.
Okay. Now make sure you're differentiating. You're talking about a fun group ride, just a casual ride.
Yeah.
You're not talking about a poker run or ignoring.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because it's different.
Yeah, it's different. That is a schedule run that they have a schedule and say, this is where we're going to be at this bar. We're going to be at this bar. We're going to be at that bar at 4 o'clock. this is the layout. This is for charity. Come and ever stop, donation. Am I correct? That's kind of like what they are.
Have you ever been on a poker run?
Yes.
No, I have not. So I've only read about them.
Okay.
That's kind of scary, man. I don't know if I want to be on a poker run.
I'm going to find you one.
Yeah, you'll find me one.
They are different, and I've got to find you one.
Yeah. But that's something that you have to, some people leave at at one stop or another, but I'm sure it's the same way as some group rides, but that's where they really want you to be there because the more turnout, the better it is. And that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I completely understand. I'm getting behind on these comments here.
Well, and Max has a good point. Maybe we should rate the ride on how many twists and turns and difficulty rating. That's a great idea.
Uh-huh.
And it's something to be talked about in your riders meeting. And you got to be blunt about it. If you just got your bike yesterday and you haven't gone to training on your bike, no, I don't want you on that road with me because you're a danger to yourself and everybody else. I really don't. And I've told people, no, you're not going with my wave.
And then Tracy's got a good point there. You can't accommodate everybody. You're exactly right. You give everybody a chance so they don't feel left out, but they got to understand, hey, you can't make this right. It's too bad. I'm sorry, but this is the day it's going to have to be. This is the time it's going to be. This is where we're going to go. If that doesn't work out in your plans, and I know we're not going to have a ride the next weekend or the weekend before that, this is the only time we could do this ride, or we can have a rain out date, that kind of stuff. But people got to understand. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
We got my friend Billy on here, who's who's my closest Ren Fair buddy, who's more into adventure bikes than he is the cruisers and the touring bikes. So it's like, I understand that everybody has their preference about country roads. Hey, my preference is country roads. But sometimes when you're in a time crunch to get back, you're going to get on that highway. And holding a group together on the highway is like herding cats. It's almost impossible. But that's when you need to make sure that your group stays as compact as possible, that your leaders are communicating, whether by radio or by hand signals or something, that you keep the pack together as much as you possibly can. Because on the highway, it's almost impossible. But if you got to get back, you got to get back.
And that's one of the, that's what I did with the Nashville ride. I actually posted the route that we were going to do. And at the end, we rode the highways on the way back. So everybody knew that we were going to do that. I think it's good knowledge and what people can see. That's what I like about some groups when they actually have they post the ride. This is the road we're going to go. And just in case something happens, like maybe we're slower than the rest and the destination is going to be, and what rides are going to, what roads they're going to be on. And they follow that route and then they meet you guys there at the destination. What were you saying? What are you smiling at, Connie? It must have been something.
No, I'm thinking about my old school buddies back when I wasn't leading anything and I'm following other people. Yeah, where's the route going? Just follow me. That's all you have to do. Just follow me.
Yep. Because when I'm actually riding, I put on Waze and I kind of judge how quick I can get there if I needed to get off the road or something like that, and then also have the route that is playing on my other on my phone. So I kind of see both ways. Yeah, go ahead.
Let me ask you a question. How to enjoy the ride with all this shit going on in your head? You got Waze here, you got cameras there.
I'm only looking at it at certain times.
You got this there. I mean, but what about your stereo's going? What about the ride?
I know.
The ride itself. Isn't that why you're there?
Well, the ride that I had that we went on Saturday, I did film the first half of it. And after that, I was done. I mean, I wasn't not going to film any more of it. So the first part of it, I filmed. And then after that, because we started getting some curbs and stuff like that. And I got some footage of that. But I can't put out a 3-hour, movie. I really want to cut it down to 30 minutes. So I try to get about 30 minutes of film. And then after that, I enjoy the ride. And that's how it is. So I just know And that's another thing. So if I know what the route is, I kind of know where the best part of the route is, and that's what I will film. Instead of doing cornfields and farmland and that kind of stuff. So a lot of people love the curves and what is it? The Indiana 135. I filmed that whole road and it's like 35 minutes and nothing but curves, which is really good.
Well, that's basically all we have around here.
Yeah.
Is curves everywhere.
All right, so we're getting ready to go to the good, and we're going to try to go to it as fast as we can. Last week after
let me touch these real quick. Behind the bars. Tell Chris we rode slow on that IMRG ride. We did. Behind the bars, exactly. Max, we have 40 bikes on the highway in West Virginia, 2 miles long. Big group and big gaps. Gator Mike, I knew Max was a Renaissance man. See, people appreciate me. As much as you try to tear me down, people do appreciate me. There you go.
Yeah. And then you got the one who's
thanks, Gator.
IT guy. For me, it's all about planning. Yeah. So.
All right, Body Snatcher, you are the guy. No doubt.
Yeah. Once I can hand off a complete planned ride to someone, I'm good. The other thing is pre-riding a route.
Oh,
the pre-riding.
Okay.
But you got to find people to take that time. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. Let's go ahead and get to the good stuff.
Okay, here we're going to go through this as fast as possible because it's good, right? It's good. Yeah. So what makes what makes a group great? And that's friendship and brotherhood. I mean, it doesn't matter, if you're in a group, a chapter, or a MC. It's brotherhood, friendship, that kind of stuff. I've made so many friends joining IMRG. It's incredible. I mean, like Mark, his wife, that's on the podcast right now.
Yeah, Tracy's on
here. And, it's great. I mean, friendships, that's what it's all about for me. I mean, I did this podcast secondhand, before I actually joined IMRG.
Yeah.
So, but once I joined the IMRG, it's been a different experience riding a motorcycle.
Well, we met Tracy and Mark, and we also met
Brian Moore.
Brian, and now we met Cincinnati.
Yeah, we're going to...
Rick and Tina. I think it's Rick and Tina of Cincinnati. A lot of good people.
I guess Les and I don't count.
No, Les and you. That's what I'm saying. I met a lot of people in these MRGs, and that's where most of my best friends are right now. So, and I was looking at it the other day because there's a theory. It's called the what was that friendship theory? What it is? Where a friendship ends instantly sometimes. That you don't even realize the friendship is.
It has to do with time.
Goes with time.
Yeah.
And that once you meet a person like Max, and then you might never, you've been friends with them for 2-3 years, and that one last day, your friendship was over, didn't realize it, but you're still friends, but you just never seen them again. It's called, I can't remember, it's called the friendship theory or something like that.
Yeah, the theory. It's actually pretty cool. What else you got? We got to move.
Oh, shot time. All right, so well-planned rides. That's another thing. Get your planning right. Make sure you do it, at least a month before or a couple weeks before, so people can plan. How long the ride's going to be, where it's going to be at, that kind of stuff. It's great to have a route that you can look at it, share that stuff. More people that get that stuff, the more people are going to join. I guarantee you, people will join if they see that kind of stuff.
Well, just like Mark McDade. I mean, he rode that route.
Yeah, like 100 times.
How many times? Yeah. Making sure it was perfect.
And that's what I was getting.
Yeah.
And that's what I was getting ready to say. Go ahead, Connie.
No, the Mid-Ohio ride. I think that's what it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He rode that so many times to make sure it was a good route.
Yeah.
He's very, very good.
I mean, he almost had the horses timed.
Yeah.
The Amish horses.
He knew exactly how much time it took.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
that's
very
why
good.
dry runs are important. Practice rides. Practice rides, dry runs, whatever you want to call them, they're essential.
Well, in this area, your road could be closed.
Yeah.
Like 2 weeks after you ride it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's why you do the dry run over and over.
The other thing is, get your members involved. Have them help. Don't expect members to jump and raise their hand up. A lot of people, they want to sit back and watch how things are going, but once you ask them, you'd be surprised how well they are.
You have to ask.
Sometimes you got to ask. You got to ask, man. You got to ask. Go ahead. Max, you got anything? Looks like he was doing something.
Let's move. Next one.
Oh my gosh, you're bossy tonight. Well planned rides. Okay, so next one is communications. So this is the actual building block of a group. Communication. Strong communication is the backbone of any successful group. You got to be able to communicate. You also got to do updates. I mean, after it's almost like people's attention span lessens every day that you don't update something. Like if you have a Facebook and you have a riding group, do a post. I'm bad at it. I mean, like I have 2 groups on Facebook, and I got to post every day, or if not, it's not going to be in their algorithm. They're not going to be seeing my posts. After a while, it just gets, people are just not watching. They're not looking at your group anymore, and they don't come to meetings. So you got to be. It's almost. I mean, I hate to say it is a job. You're not getting paid for it, but your reward is how many people show up on Saturday ride with you. Would you agree, Max?
I agree. Communication is key. Mm-hmm. It's like I said, social media, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. It's a double-edged sword. It can be used for great good. It can be used for great evil. And with great power comes great responsibility.
I'm starting to like this Billy guy. Your friend, I met him, so he's a good guy.
Yeah, you've met him a couple of times.
Yeah, met him. He's a good guy. So also the other thing is share responsibility, man. If you keep everything in a 1 or 2 person thing and don't do ranks or do whatever it is, that group is only going to be as big as what you have it as. If you don't get people involved, share responsibility, have people, ask for help, split responsibilities, and give people jobs. Hey, listen, I need this done by next week. Don't give somebody a job for tomorrow because it's not going to happen. They're probably not going to come back again. But hey, listen, can you ride this ride next week? Tell me what you think. And they ride it. They say, hey man, it's a great ride. There was a couple spots that we might want to let people know are questionable, and that kind of stuff. So share responsibility.
So here's the thing, and this is the old adage that's very true. The greatest general that there ever was could not win a war by himself. He had to have help. He had to have subordinates. He had to have officers. He had to have troops to believe in him to carry out the vision and the battle plan. Mm-hmm. It's the same way with this. Mm-hmm. Nobody can plan a run, a ride, or anything else by himself unless he or she goes by himself. If you're involving other people, then they need to be involved. Yeah. Case closed.
And Ed has a good point. Over communication is bad also. It has to be very good communication. A lot of things where I work at, if you put bad data in, you get bad data out. It's the same thing. You get bad communication, you're going to get bad communication out. So people are just going to say, no, this guy don't know what he's talking about. I'm not going to go to this freaking ride. This is crazy. So make sure it's good and timely communication that people are interested in. Don't be, sending a picture of your dog on the Facebook group. It has nothing to do with the group, that kind of stuff. People might love the dog and they might like it and that kind of stuff. But really what they're looking for is communication. Hey, what's the group up to? We got a meeting next Thursday. How many people are going to show up? That kind of stuff. Try to get engaged to get as many members that you possibly can to your meetings, because that's where you're going to get the help from. So,
all right. Well, the thing is, though, that's also a double-edged sword too, because people got to want to come to the meetings. Again, we have a meeting tomorrow night. Usually, it's the same 6 people. It's kind of frustrating. I'm waiting to see how many people show up. I really am.
I'm going to make it 7 tomorrow night if I can get across the bridge, Max.
Yeah, I plan on
being
there.
Yeah, I know. That bridge is a pain.
That bridge is the reason why I haven't been there for like 2 months. I'm tired of battling that bridge.
Well, if you're making a commitment to come, I'll do my best to make sure Lisa gets there.
Yeah, we're going to.
Last but not least, what makes a group great?
Meetings and organization, man. Just, be organized. If you're disorganized, people see that and they're not going to show up. Meetings, you want to have meetings, and you don't have to have them at a restaurant. You don't have to have them at a business. A meeting on Facebook, or like, hey, listen, can everybody? I'm getting ready to start a Discord channel, so it's people can come on Discord and talk to me anytime they want to. that's another thing. You can have Discord. You can have you can have a meeting without having a meeting, I guess you can say. Especially if you have a post that says, "Hey, listen, what's everybody's thoughts about doing this or doing that?" That's almost having a meeting on Facebook. As long as your members are engaged, then the actual group will be a success, I think. Yeah, the bridge sucks.
The bridge sucks big time, dude.
Yeah.
Yes, the bridge does suck. I spent 40 minutes crossing that bridge coming back from where was I coming back from? Anyway, I had to come across through Indiana 275. Ooh, Lord.
My favorite was the pool that was stuck in the center of the lane. Yeah. That was my favorite.
All right, and our final thoughts here. Even with good intentions, some groups stall out. Toxic culture,
yes, they do.
Communication, constant power struggles scare away new members. Reputation matters. If word gets out that your group is all drama, no one wants to join. And did you want to read the next part there, Max?
Growth comes from inclusivity, fun rides, and a strong nucleus of members who actually show up. It's not about the number of Facebook likes or YouTube subscribers. It's about the core group that holds everything together. And that's right on the money. Mm-hmm. I mean, I was a part of a long-standing group that went from 200 members to 100 members to 50 members to 20 members to 6 members, and that's when it shut down. I mean, yeah, you got to do stuff to attract new members, but I don't know what the answer is.
Well, I
don't know what the answer is.
I think what I'm saying, what the reason why we had this podcast here, I think I think IMRG groups are great. Okay, I've never been in a different really group, and I just wanted to, I try to support IMRGs as much as I possibly can. And when you're saying, the big difference between meetings and a dictatorship, exactly right. Not every, I work in retail. Not every manager is a good manager. Not every leader is a good leader. Not every IMRG is a good group. Not every dealership is a good group. You have to find, and listen, if I'm not trying to say that you should, because I've talked to a lot of IMRG people. They say, the first leader, the first president was pretty terrible. So we had some fights at the beginning, and then that person finally stepped away, and then we got a good leadership in. It's not always, you're not always going to have a good leader in an IMRG, and you're not going to have a good leader in Hog Group either. There's always going to be some kind of bad experience that you're going to have. And I understand you completely. You can't be a dictator. What I'm saying is, and this is all supposed to be for fun. We're riding for fun. We're showing up for fun. But I guarantee you, there's people that are sitting in them chairs that would love to help. They don't want it to be a full-time job. They don't want it. They know they're not going to get paid for it. But I guarantee you, like Max, I know if Max was on a motorcycle, he'd be helping. He would be riding the route every weekend, just to make sure it's good, because that's how he is. And I think that dedication doesn't have to be a dictatorship. That's just people that are good members that really, and it's hard to find. But just like when I hire an employee, 1 out of 10 are good. The rest of them pretty much are lazy.
That ratio's not good.
That's how it is. That's how it is this time.
I hope your employees are not looking at this. Really. No. But it all goes back to what I was saying. No, you don't need to be a dictatorship. Okay. But there are some things there's just some structure that has to be enforced. Okay. And when it all comes down to it, that leader makes a decision because of the vote or whatever, but that's the way it goes. Whatever is decided upon, that's what happens. So,
and I'll tell you what, a lot of good groups that I know, that they also have leadership voting, that kind of stuff every year or every 2 years or something like that.
They change leaderships a lot. Yes.
Yeah. And people that come to that meeting, they're not going to vote for somebody that never comes to a meeting. They're going to come to the people that they see that are actually doing very good. Maybe they like their direction. And that's when that person might become higher level than they were last year. Because good people make good decisions and get, they get good roles in some of these groups. But, that's one way to, if you have a bad leader, is to, hey, listen, can we have a vote every year? And it's just a dictatorship. I'd say get yourself another group.
Or have an election.
Yeah, have an election. Yeah, because it really is. It's not their group. If you're in IMRG, it's not their group. They're not the president. Not really. And if it's that bad and everybody in that group it feels the same way, then have an election that night. It's part of the chapter rules and that kind of stuff. So,
yeah. Well, Gator Mike has it takes a village to have a successful and growing group.
Yep.
Yes, it does.
And that is correct. That is the absolute truth.
So hopefully you guys So hopefully you guys like this kind of podcast. I hope it was entertaining. I hope it wasn't too boring. I didn't try to make it a what do they call that? When you have these slides, what do they call these things? PowerPoint.
A dictatorship.
Dictatorship.
That's what I was going to say too. But
I was really worried. Yeah, go ahead.
But guess what? Our viewership has varied from 19 to 14 to 15. I think people are entertained by this subject. Mm-hmm. And Billy, I promise you, we will deal with the communication Cardo Cena issue on another program soon. We will, because that's a hot topic.
Go in depth on that.
So I'll tell you what. I'll send you an invite there, Body Snatcher, and you can get on here and talk because he's been on the podcast before.
Yes, he has.
So your knowledge is very good. I mean, I can have up to 18 people on a podcast. So it's I have a very big pipe. It takes a lot of data.
Let's not do that. 18 people. Don't even go there.
He also said between now and the Jack Daniels ride, he'll probably ride that route once a week again. Mm-hmm. It's about the planning, he said.
Yep.
And there you go. It is.
Yep. And Billy said a couple of my previous groups required the president to file the roll. Fill the roll. Sorry. It actually jumped when I was reading it. What's it say, Connor?
It does say file, but he meant
he said file, but he meant fill the roll.
For vice president before their term, it allowed the group to see how they engaged and worked for the group.
Yep. And if you are not riding this weekend, please donate to the Folds of Honor. And let me see if I can get that right here. I think that's right there. And if you want to, this. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This doesn't go to my website. This goes to the Folds of Honor website. So this, I have donated $60 plus, and I know that Indian has their own charity website too. So you can actually, if you feel more comfortable, please go to that website, donate. But that ride is this weekend. It's for a great cause. It's a great organization. So yeah, all right.
Did you see Gator Mike? Nice TED Talk.
Nice TED Talk.
Thank you, Gator. So, much appreciated, my friend.
So we got
some more sauce.
We got 14 people here. We got 9 likes. I appreciate the likes. Do you guys like this kind of podcast? Is this because I like doing educational podcasts? I like to get more people to get into motorcycle, engage, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, like the conversation.
And involved. Yes, we depend on your comments, folks.
Yeah.
Yes, we depend on your comments to keep this conversation going.
Yep.
And don't be afraid to leave a comment after if you watch it on YouTube. That's very important.
Yeah, and that is actually, and I say this all the time. If you guys can do, go to your watch, set an alarm to sometime tomorrow around 1:00. Go to YouTube, turn the podcast on for this right here, and make a comment, because that really pushes us along. What happens with podcasts, they usually last for about 24 to 48 hours and then they die because nobody really is doing any comments. We need comments. We need likes, not just now. We also need them tomorrow and the next day. So, and also share this podcast. If you think this podcast was good, and Marty, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, Marty.
Yeah. Hey, Marty.
And hopefully you're subscribed to the podcast. But we have a lot of friends, and we're gonna be doing something with 859. Hopefully, I want to get with you guys. We're gonna do something next year. Go to do a ride together. But hey, listen, I know I got the Mexico hat on.
Hey, There it is. Finally got him out of that 112 hat. There you go, people. On that closed course in Mexico with professional riders. Yes, I was on it.
All right, well, folks, thanks for listening. You got anything left?
Nope, it's good. Great show.
All right, and everybody have a good night. We're going to get off here. I appreciate you all, and I'll see you guys next week. We'll have a special guest for the Saddlemen group and our Saddlemen Motorcycle Club, and it's going to be fun. So, all right. Let's see if I can get the right song here.
Namaste, people. Namaste. Take care. Have a good week.
All right, Siri, set the reminder. Podcast next week, 30 days. There you go. Yeah.
I feel ready, but my legs
heavy. Everybody.
I haven't hit it already. Still working. I'm still learning. I'm still searching. Finally earning something. Finally doing something called
thanks for doing that. I got an alert on my Siri now. Good job. All right, everybody have a good night.
Ciao.
Good night, everybody.